Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me in my shop here on October 27th. And I have an empty bench because the item that's going up there is this great big thing here. So this big guy here, this is a Sony reel-to-reel tape recorder, and the first thing I want to do is I want to weigh it on the scale here. Because I want to know, what does this thing weigh? So I don't think you can see it on the video, but it's come up to 41 pounds. Oh my gosh, 41 pounds. Okay, 41 pounds it is. Okay, as with most, well, virtually all projects I work on, I know nothing at the start about the item I'm going to be working on. Don't know really anything. Except it says Sony. It's got these great big speakers, and I'm pretty sure, wow, interesting, it's got feet up here. It means it's meant to be stood up that way. Let's lay it flat here. This must just be a ventilation fan here. Binaural monitor. Binaural. Is that stereo? Binaural. Speaker looks like a speaker here. A speaker here. Okay, let's lay it down here. So, what am I doing with this great big tape recorder anyway? How did I get this thing? So I have a relationship with a store in Toronto, and it's a second time around type store, maybe even third time around. And they like to collect interesting items to put in their store, and not in particular stuff like this by any means, but other curios and stuff like that. They have a website that they sell stuff through. I'm not going to promote them in any particular way here, except to say that they exist out on the Danforth in Toronto. And in their travels, they pick up electronic things, old radios and stuff like that. They bundle them up and they bring them to me. And they literally unload maybe 10 or 15 items here at my house. And then I pick my way through them, usually through the winter. I have about 10 or 15 things out in my garage, smaller radios waiting. And my job, my role in this deal, is to determine if the stuff they've got is of any value. Maybe it isn't. I mean, they're buying it for $1 or $2, not much at all. I don't know what they paid for this, but you can bet it's next to nothing. And my job is to, is it worth selling? What's it worth? And can I make it work? Can I make it saleable? Which is what I do here when I'm working on that kind of stuff. Mostly what you've been seeing over the last year is stuff, some of the stuff I own, but most of it is individual people with a radio that they're attached to. They want it fixed up. But I don't, but I've sort of stopped with that kind of work for now. There's speakers here too. Because I got so much stuff to work on already. So that's how I get these things. I don't go out looking for them. They get dropped off. Here you go. What can you do with this? So let's find out what I can do with this. When I'm done with this guy, unless I end up keeping it because I'm so excited about it, is it just goes back to the store and they'll put it on sale. So is this for the speaker? I think so. Is there something hidden in there? I think that's just where the cord goes. Maybe they'd hide a microphone in there. Not a very big speaker. It's a fairly large surface, but a pretty small speaker. It's Sony though, so you have to guess. And this looks like a pretty high quality guy in its day. There we go. So I have peeked inside here, but I haven't done anything with this at all. I peeked inside here enough to see this note, which I see you can't read. I'm going to peel this off. So someone else wrote this on here. Probably the person who was trying to sell it. It says, seems to be stuck in fast forward. Fast forward switch does nothing. Okay, is that so? Now the reason I can work on this is because I have a decent tape I can use. I recently acquired, so that's why it's up here. But we're not going to put a tape on it just yet. We're going to look it over, see what's up. Counter. Now, these usually just pop right off, but this one might be screwed in place. Does not want to come off. Okay, I don't want to force anything. It's got these, put the tape on and lock it on. That's a sign that this can be stood up. So it's got the feet to stand up on down here. It's got these knobbies. Very good. Treble, bass. So here it says stereo. Channel 1, channel 2, stereo in the middle. SP mode. SP mode. I don't know what SP mode would be. Sound production mode? I don't know what that is. Volume is up on 10. Quickly, turn it down. Oh. A little, yeah, there's an inside volume control. So the idea of this is you kind of set the balance the way you like it, and then you just turn the outside one and see the inside knob goes with it. That's a common way of handling it. Speaker on and off. Power on and off, a little green light. And over here, and you know, I bet you there's a secret door here. Yeah. Stereo 530, solid state. Who thought of putting the name here? Because when it's open, the name disappears. Who thought of that? Got a record button, got record level controls, I imagine, and small jacks for microphones. Not that big jack like we saw on the speaker. So that's definitely the speaker. Speaking of which, where's that go? Where do you plug in the speakers? Since you don't need to, it's got built-in speakers. Good. That's great. Got a speed control here. Sometimes these should not be operated unless the motor's running, so I'm going to leave it where it is. And we'll do some simple stuff. So there's definitely a brake action here. Brake action here feels good. See, it just brakes in one direction. It's kind of an angle thing. Fast forward button. Now what that note said? Note said, seems to be stuck in fast forward. Fast forward switch does nothing. That's this, I guess they're saying. FF. So you probably need to push this down and flip it over to forward. But he's right. The fast forward switch does nothing. Oh my gosh, I didn't have that even aimed at all this stuff. Shame on me. Bad video maker. It certainly moves through the sounds and feels normal. We'll put it to stop. I don't know how much else there is to fiddle around with before turning this on. We should really get this off to see what's going on underneath. Just so surprised this doesn't lift right off. Trying to see in these little holes here. So there's a screw in there. Looks like a locking type screw. Let's try this little tiny screwdriver. Okay, yeah, definitely, that's all that is. Okay, let's take a look at the situation here. Ooh, I think this is ready to fall off my bench here. Now that would be an exciting moment, wouldn't it? Man drops 40-pound tape deck on foot. Make for a good video. We see the this is probably the erase head, and this single head here is probably double duty, does the playback, does the recording. And a nice piece of felt here, that's in good shape. Here too, felt, good material. Foam, bad material. Felt, good. There's the roller. Has a plastic cap over top of it. Probably because you are putting the tape in here and you don't want it to get caught on any of the parts, so they've got like a plastic cap over it. There's the Capistan. It's driven by the motor. It turns nicely. Feels very heavy, like there's a very, very heavy flywheel under there, of course, and that's to keep its speed as steady as possible. It's a cheap way to keep steady speed. Got some fairly complicated looking paper clip like pieces here. Okay, without it plugged in, somebody's at my door. Who's at my door? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Why, it's you. Hey. You want to go outside? Is that what you want? So that's him saying, out, out, out. He wants to go out. So we're going to let him outside. And we'll carry on with this guy. Okay, Peanut, I'm coming. So I think the way to go with this guy is without a tape in, plug it in. Oh, look at all this goody stuff. Whoa. Jackpot. Power cord. Oh my. I'm going to find that gold bar in here finally. Looks like 2 microphones are coming out. Really jammed in here. There we go. Wow. Dynamic microphone. MTL F96 impedance low, Japan. Okay, that's great. 2 interesting microphones. 2 for stereo. I'm going to set them over here. What we're really interested in is this power cord. So back here, let me lift this up so I can see it too. There's a whole bunch of inputs. There's plugs in there for 300-watt devices. Auxiliary input, line output. Important for lid speakers use, lid SPA position for external speakers, use external SPA. This is a little heavy. Here we are. Lid speaker, external speaker. Wait a minute, isn't that the same thing? Lid speaker and external speaker, are they the same thing? Use lid speaker position for external speakers. Oh no, for they missed some commas or something. For external speakers, use external position. Speaker output, channel 1, channel 2. Well, I don't understand that. It sounds like both of them are external. Unless, you mean, they're calling the built-in speakers lid speakers? That doesn't make sense. Maybe what it is if you don't plug anything in here, these speakers operate. If you do plug something in, what you plug in is going to operate. And why there's a switch here must be something peculiar about the lid speakers from an ordinary external speaker. That's my guess. This is setting the input supply voltage, 117 volts. Fuse, power supply. Let's see what they got in here for a fuse. Slow blow. A slow blow fuse. Probably the correct fuse. Three amps. Oh wait a minute, 1.25 amp. It's 1.25 amp. Slow blow. Slow blow because there's motors in here. Okay, that's probably the correct fuse. Looked like it was good. Close the trap door. Sony tape recorder TC-530. Same thing that was on the door. Serial number. Watts. 65 watts. Just look at this thing. This is what people had to do to listen to a nice tape. One of these gigantic tape recorders. Wow. Oh, I didn't plug in the power here. Once again, I don't have my cell phone with me, but if I did, I would just hold it out there and go, look at the cell phone. Look at the cell phone. Look at this thing. What did it weigh? 40 pounds. Imagine your cell phone weighed 40 pounds. 40 pounds just to get a record and playback action. Okay, we're going to plug this in over here. Power on. There's no power yet. Just checking. Speakers off. Yeah, I don't get there's not a lot of controls here. This is really quite a simple machine. Appears that way. Okay, we'll apply power. Today we are cooking with 115 volts. Okay, power on. What's going to happen? Green light came on. Yep. I can feel a motor spinning. You can hear a very low rumble. Very good. Try the speed change here. Oh yeah, there it goes. It was a little stuck, so it's been in this position for a long time. Let's put it on the slow speed. Now, fast forward is stuck. Now there's no tape in here, and a lot of these machines have sensors, so they know there's no tape, and they tend to turn themselves off. That could be the case here. These doors didn't flip up. This part appears to be. Yeah, look at this. This is bad lubrication. That should snap right up. And the motor's not turning. Ooh, that's not good. The motor not turning. Cannot change the speed. Can only change the speed when it's not operating. There it goes. And it stopped. Oh, it stopped because it's got no tape. Just what I said. Now, so this very light thing here, this is certainly the tape detector. So if I do this, come back on. Very good. So we're in forward. This fast forward button is stuck. Let's stop it. Still does not want to go down. So the capstan here continued to spin, still spinning. That's good. That sort of suggests the lubrication's good. Wow, it took a long time actually to slow down. I can see a big wheel in behind there, about this big, going around. A large flywheel. So this metal cowling can come off with a couple of screws, 3 screws. How would that help? Don't think it would help. And to really get the whole front panel off, there's a screw here, screw here. Now, do I think this thing will play? How come that stayed up like that? Well, when it's in stop position, you want the detector to be up. You put the tape in, and when you put it into its operation, the detector can then fall onto the tape, assuming the tape is there. It has some kind of a guide, which looks almost like a paper clip in here, and I guess that's to limit the position of this guy. He's fairly flimsy, and you're in here with the tape messing around. You got the cover on, you can't even see what you're doing clearly. So this one looks like you load the tape. You just start from any distance. You just come in. Yeah, any distance. You don't have to drop it in because you got to get into this guide here. So I put it back on play. Forward. Okay, I'll keep my finger here. Speakers are off. Volume is down. Speakers on. Oh. I hear some noise. Amplifier hum. I hear the amplifier hum and hiss coming out of here. Oh, here I just hear that noise. That could be any one of a number of things happening here. Dirty switches. The balance. The balance may not be right. Okay, so the balance is matched up. I'd say I hear the amplifier noise out of both speakers. This guy's ready to play. That's appropriate kind of tension. And this one should be loose. When I let go of this, clicks off slowly. Don't know what that noise is. Let's get it going. If I stop it, this should stop suddenly. Which it did, and the brake is on. What exactly are we hearing? Don't know. Instant stop. The instant stop. Hey, interesting. Holds this up. Go on. Play. No. It's held up because this was on stop. Okay, we're ready to stick a tape on this. Let's try. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop. I gotta go find a reel to put on here. Okay, I've got a tape here. I was working on another very large tape player. And I use this tape so I know what's on it, except the tape is at its far end here. So it's pretty simple to load this one. It's tricky getting over top of the wheel. Okay, so it's in a guide here. A guide here. Looks good. This looks correct. It's holding the switch here. So this tape is advanced right to the end of the tape where it was blank, and I tried to record a bit with the other great big tape recorders successfully. I don't think this is right. I think this is supposed to be here. This is supposed to be here. This is loose. This is loose too. Well, there's a gap on these posts. They're shaped to receive the tape, but No, 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 no. You know what this is? This is no, no. This isn't right. This doesn't make sense. In fact, this is what makes sense. Like that. Got to be like that. These are the posts that hold this thing on. Okay. Very good. So we're going to put this on lock. We're going to put this in forward. Of course, this thing doesn't come up. We got to help it. It's not going all the way forward. It's not making contact here. It's stopping short. Maybe because I have this on stop. That's probably what this is. You know, stop this thing. You want to take all the pressures off. So that's how they've made it. Push the stop, everything opens up a little bit. If I release this, the way she should go. I'm not going to do it that way. I'll do this. And there's only like maybe a minute of tape here. We're on the medium speed. Let's go slow. Slow speed. And the volume is a little bit up. Play on. So this doesn't close. Well, if it would turn, it would work. So not enough pressure happening here. Is that too much drag? Not enough pull. Let's see if we can rewind this tape. Making a funny sound. When we stop it, if the brakes don't grab, whoosh, spewing. Brakes grab. Fast forward. Not sure what all the clicking is. Wait a minute. That was forward. I said fast forward and it went fast. How did that happen? I didn't push the fast forward button. What exactly happened just now? Stuff didn't come up. Well, it certainly works.
Show too.
Looks like the fast forward is stuck on. Seems to be stuck in fast forward. Fast forward switch does nothing. Yeah, it seems to be stuck in fast forward, and the guy's right. How could we fool this thing into working? Like this button feels like there's a block. And it's probably the case you can only push this button when this is in the right place. Probably stop. You probably have to push this and turn at the same time. But it never ever releases. So I'm guessing there's a mechanism blocking this from being pushed down at the wrong time. That's my guess. Well, seems to work largely. We heard it already. So it's definitely worth going forward to try to figure out how to solve this. To solve this problem, this guy could be 100%. That's great. That's really great. Okay, we're gonna... That's just the speaker. Great, we gotta take them apart. I gotta figure that out a little bit. Look, hidden screws. Big screw, one screw here, but no matching screw over here. Screw underneath the tapes here. Screw. I think I should probably look for a manual on this before I do any more. Okay, that's great. I'll look for a manual for the 530. See what I can find. Okay, well, I managed to get a full service manual for this guy, and so we can take off this front panel, and some things have to come off to get out of the way. One is this guy right here, the other one is this guy. That was easy. This guy has to come off, and he's on with a flathead. Not on very tight at all. Wow. That just came right off. Okay, these two screws here must come out. This should give us access to most of the mechanics, and that's where I expect the problem with the stuck fast forward thing will be accessible, I guess. And we also have to take off these two guys, which I mentioned were loose, because you see somebody else has been in here. I think that's what that means. Now it also says to remove the pinch roller. That's the pinch roller, I believe. Why would you want to remove that? Isn't this panel ready to come off right now? No. I'm getting a grip on it here. Maybe it's stuck. There we go. Something's still holding it down pretty firmly. This piece. I don't think the instructions said to remove this piece. It looks like it can be removed pretty easily, so let's do that. Two little screws in here, I imagine, have to go. I may be imagining wrong. Let's leave them in. What, one screw holding this on? That can't be the case, eh? Well, the only option are these two little screws here. Looks like these knobs have to come off too. Let's try this. Take this out. No, that's not the secret. You have to read that manual a little more. I'm going to put the screw back in. Study the manual just a bit more. Another secret needs to be revealed. Okay, well, I recorded the process of taking the top panel off, and turns out the camera I was using, the camera right above me here, was frozen the whole time. So here's what happened. This is kind of an upsetting thing. So this meter, double-sided tape, stuck here. So I just pushed it off. This guy came out with a screw, the two posts here that hold this guy on, two posts, and one more screw here. The bezel doesn't have to come off. And then it lifts up. There we are. The instructions say you need to take the pinch roller off. But I don't understand that, so maybe I misread something. So what do we see in here? You know, this looks like the old record players I work on. All kinds of lubrication that is probably turned into glubrication. So we will sample some of it. Sample a bunch of it right here. Very sticky, very, very sticky. And in fact, I'm sampling it right around where the, this knob is supposed to move somehow. Okay, well, before I start pushing and pulling, let's just look things over. See what we can see here. I'm going to hang this over here. I'm going to pull the plug out. just to make sure. Yeah, I'm all set to get a shock there, but I did not. So here's the main belt. Looks to be in good shape. Looks to be in good shape, offhand. Just all of this lubrication is bad news. So the name of the game is to clean off the old stuff and put in new stuff. It's all over the place. It's just like a record player. Tons of it. So to start the ball rolling here, I can hit it with WD-40 or alcohol. And I think I'm going to use WD-40 this time, because the alcohol is going to evaporate away. This stuff won't evaporate away. I'm just going to... In fact, this might just wake up the lubrication enough. There's a lot of things that are lubricated in here. Wow. Don't spray it all over the place. Wow, it's just lots of grease. Did I get everything? That's a good question. A little bit of excess there. So that's going to take a little bit of time to work. Did I get everything? Did I get everywhere? I think I may have. Okay. Well, we're going to let that sit for a while, because the clock does say, well, you can't see it, 12. It says 12 o'clock. I saw the schematic for this and the circuit diagram. It's a very simple machine electronically. Nothing fancy going on in it. Fantastic. A really good feeling about this. The problem is going to go away just with lubrication. I'm willing to bet on that. Now here's my other camera. It's frozen again. I don't have my hands like that. Wonder what's happening. Okay, well, I'll get back to this in a little bit. I'll just let that soak for a while. Okay, time has gone by. Let's see what's going on here. The machine is switched off. There's no power to it. So there's a slot here and a large headed piece. If you go like this, you cannot cause this plate to move down, which is basically what the button is supposed to do, the fast forward. So you need to push this down first, and that's the problem right there. And what's this? This is a strange little arm here. So this piece is held up where it is now. There's an arm here holding it up. And that's tied in with all this mechanism here. Well, what all is moving? What's the story here? This looks like it's supposed to lift up. Oh, how do you like that? Oh, I know what that's doing. You push this button down. The lever lifts this up. Yeah, sort of. Kinda. this is just stuck solid here. That's really where it's at. I have to free this up. So I think I didn't really hit it with the... Does look like there's a spring down under here. Oh yeah. So right now... Stuck over here. No, it can't be stuck. This is rotating the shaft. It can't be stuck here. This piece here. Nothing stuck about that now. So I think the idea is when you're fast forwarding, this is supposed to go up, and that has some effect on the machine. I'm not sure what. That goes up. This lever is free to move up. Yep, it's totally free. So the only thing that's keeping this from going down is this. So it doesn't swing or do anything because it slides up and down, and it's just stuck. I'm pretty sure that's all that's going on there. What else? There's nothing underneath here. This piece is clear. I can see it moving on the shaft, which rotates anyway, so it can't be stuck on it. It's got to be stuck right here. Stuck solid. Wow. Well, I got some solvent on there. It just seems unbelievably stuck. I have to put some heat on that to loosen it up eventually. We're going to give it a little more time to... Looks like it's stuck down at the bottom here. Put a tool on there and try to force it into movement. A little bit of movement and get the whole thing going again. Where's my tools? Where's my tool? Uh-oh. The tool I would normally use for this isn't here. Let's see what we can do with this. Gently, gently now. Of course, this is up. Oh yeah, there it goes. Moved it a bit. There it goes. So this is the shaft and the sleeve problem, except the sleeve is very, very small. It's more like a shaft going through a hole. But if you think of it as a shaft and a sleeve, and you have lubrication in here, which eventually dries up, that is a pretty tough thing to break loose. If you get any put some solvent on it, it won't penetrate. But if you get any movement at all, then you open up the opportunity for the solvent to penetrate. So the slightest bit of movement, there we are, now it's nice and loose. Okay, so now if you wanted to push the button here, where is the push the button? Okay, so I've lost the push button at the moment, but I can imitate it. So the button collar actually comes in, pushes on this down, and you would flip this over to, and you have locked in fast forward now. And he said it was stuck in fast forward, but didn't I play this? Okay, what about this part now? This should be, when I put this in play, this should all just zoom up. So I didn't do any lubricating on this. So there's a very large, put this back here. So it looks like it's pivoting here. Pivoting here. This large, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. See the color of the metal in there? And you see the same color metal here. I think it's all the same part. It's a cast part. And this right here is its pivot point, which you might be able to see. Can't quite see it, but under here I can see that there's it's a very serious shaft and sleeve situation here. But it does move. Not sure I can can just shoot oil in there. I don't think that's the case. I think you have to kind of get at it here. I'm going to get in there. Yeah, this whole piece is rotating on this. So this is going to be quite rugged. It's going to be strong, and dimensions are going to be large, and the lubrication is going to be tremendous in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a rivet arrangement here. Let me just try moving this again. So I'm looking to see if this is turning at all. No, this isn't going to move. In fact, if this starts moving, I think that's a bad problem. Well, the best I can do is kind of stand the whole machine up. It's made to stand up here. Only it's not good. It's going to be good on my bench. Stand back, everybody. I'm going to stand this up. I got to get rid of this wheel at the same time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this way forward. We're going to stand this up back here. Hey, there's that thing. Doesn't fall. Now the question is, can I get right down inside there? It's actually a gap here in the corner, and I can spray WD-40 up there. Now it's gonna, excess is gonna come down and just drip out of there. Try to catch it. Good, right through. Oil up my finger here. Okay, and then down here at the bottom. I'm gonna move this a bit. Oh, it's moving better already. There's another part moving in here. Underneath here. Yeah, there's another part. I bet you that needs a bit of oil in there too. This is moving up and down. Lots of stuff happening. It's a piece rotating there with a ramp that's pushing this up and down. It's getting looser and looser. Should I put a little oil in there? Okay, I'm going to put the camera back. Trying to get the gravity working for me here. Wow. I don't know. Just going to put some on the shaft and then tip the machine up. And hopefully it runs down. I don't know. Will it run down? This wheel is inside of a sleeve also, but I don't think it's stuck. We'll give it a little. Probably some kind of spring pulling on this. It's supposed to pull it up like that, and that spring just doesn't have the power to do the job. It's getting looser. Look at the great big flywheel. That's heavy. This more time again for the oil to move in. Yeah, it stays. Should come right up like that right away. Okay, give it some more time. Okie doke. Time is what's needed. I got some of that. Okay, so I've come in a couple of times and applied more oil and solvent. Let's see what we got here. Still pretty stiff. It's making contact okay, if this will just travel enough. How can I figure out how much drag is from this? Oh, there's nothing. Wait a minute. Slowly getting looser. There's a long ways to go though. How about this guy? Oh, that's as loose as can be. There's nothing there. It all comes down to this piece here. To disassemble this, and it looks like a major undertaking. And a lot of these parts are positioned just exactly so. Take them off, you put them back on, you've got to get them positioned again just exactly so. So it's not something to rush into. Looks like this is probably the spring here. No, I guess that's the spring for this mechanism. Where is the spring that's pulling on this? See it anywhere. Study the manual a little bit on. See if I can find where it shows this mechanism. Yeah, I'm sure it's all one piece. Is it? Is it one piece? You can see it here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all one piece. these, all one cast piece of metal. Yeah, let me look on the manual, see what I can figure out from there. Okay, so on the exploded view, I can see a large, powerful spring. It looks very much like this one here. Take my close-up camera. We're going to look in behind this plate as best we can, see what can be seen. What might that be? Start on the left-hand side here. I'll move that bar so we can identify it. There it is. Oh, I got a linkage. Oh, is that what's slow? So there's some play in the linkage, so I can move the larger piece. No, the larger piece still is very sticky, but what is that? Okay, so that's the part of the tape guide. Yanking on something, but okay, now we can't. Let's see if we can see up in here. Well, there's something there. It maybe needs a little. Looks like it has some lubrication in it. I lubricated that, but this is very loose. There's no. Nothing stopping it from moving. How about up in here? Oh, I can see a long ways now. This is what I've been trying to lubricate. Right in here, I don't see any lubricant left. The kind of metal that this is cast from, I think is commonly called pot metal. And it's not the best metal. I don't know if that's what this really is. There's the big spring way in the background there. Way in the background. It's getting better, you know, bit by bit. It's definitely getting better. Put some oil right up in there. Hard to see through here. Right up in there. Okay. So we know the spring is there. I mean, very unlikely the spring would be gone. Big spring like that. So now I want to get this. Try this once again. Maybe I didn't quite get it last time. Getting better. Part way on its own, but it really should snap into position. We're quite a ways from that happening. Snap. Well, we'll give this a little more time, and then I'm going to apply some heat to it. see what happens with that. I have the feeling the solvent's not going to get there. Put some on the other end again. You're saying, well, WD-40 is not a solvent. Yeah, it's a combination of solvents and oils. Secret combination. Okay, we'll just give it time. Okay, I think the best approach is for me to use a little torch here, apply some heat. Because this can direct the heat very well. I have a hot air gun, but it's kind of, going to be general in here. I want it to be specific. Okay. Take much. Look at it. Works just fine now. Slowing down. How hot did I get that? Do I dare touch it? Just warm. There we go. So I'm going to give it a little time to cool down and see if it just locks up again, but it probably won't. It's probably going to continue to be okay. Let's put a little more. The magic elixir here. Yeah, it's right in contact. Everything else is moving pretty good. Good. Let her cool down. We'll see what happens. Okay, it's been only a few minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, but it's a little slow. If you can watch this plate, but it gets there. That's the primary thing. Excellent. So I'm going to stop here for today. Tomorrow we'll try playing a tape and see about its functions and the like. So pretty good today. Pretty happy with that. See ya.